Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just got a kind of an update and a first showing of where the channel is hopefully going to go with some content here for the next probably year, hopefully, with just updates every so often. But I told you in the past that I have a 1991 full-size Bronco that I planned on going over, building and everything like that. Well, I had a 71 460 that was going to go in it, have a 5-speed manual transmission to go along with it. But at a company I work with, they had a yard dog capacity truck with a 5.9 P-pump Cummins in it. And as you can see behind me here, they finally, after 3 years of pestering, put it up for auction, and I got the high bid. So I walked away with this truck, not being able to run, everything like that, for $800. So scrapping the truck, pulling the motor out, everything like that, I should be able to flip my money if everything doesn't go according to plan. But what I'm gonna try and do is get the truck up and going right now, see what all is wrong with it, see if I might be able to at least get the engine running. I know the brakes are stuck, has a hydraulic hose busted. So we'll just see how far we can go with getting it to this certain point in time. So I'm going to set you all up probably in a time lapse just to see me crawling around this thing trying to figure out what all it needs. Hopefully nothing big. We'll go from there and we'll see where it takes us. So. Okay guys, so I've crawled around the truck for a little bit. Come to find out, the starter one is junk. It'll barely turn over. So my dad, he has a couple of 5.9s sitting around here in his truck, so I just pulled the starter off of them and changed the motor out because the starter teeth probably won't mesh up with the flywheel that's on this thing. And secondly, I seen is the fuel shutoff solenoid is not kicking in and out like it should to allow fuel to be put to the engine and everything like that. So I've got it shoved in right now. Hopefully it'll let it put fuel to it. I've got my truck hooked up to it with jumper cables, and I'm gonna try and see if this thing will fire up and hopefully run, and hopefully we won't throw a rod through the side of the fucking block or throw a belt. So we'll see. Stay tuned. All right guys, I'm gonna jump up here in the cab and I'm gonna try and see if I can get this thing to fire up. Attempt number 2, cables weren't hooked up good. Okay, so I'm gonna start my truck. So I'm gonna have to put you all in a time lapse, and I'll have to do a video of the truck already running. So sorry, I apologize for the guys that want to see it firing up for the first time and all that good lovely stuff. So I'm gonna start the truck, put you all in a time lapse again, and I'll get it going here in a second. Okay guys, I got everything hooked up like it should be. It just fired over on the time lapse, so now that I have the fuel shutoff solenoid closed to where it'll start and run, I'm gonna put y'all on normal speed and I'm gonna try and crank it over and let y'all get the second just start up. This truck's been sitting for 6 to 8 years, so yeah, should be pretty interesting to see how good she runs after sitting that long. So here we go. Gonna have to fire the truck up again. Okay, so there you go. Got it fired up, running, smooth as silk. Don't see any smoke come out of the exhaust at idle. Sounds pretty healthy. So I'm gonna let it sit here and run for a few minutes, get up to operating temp hopefully. And I'm gonna give y'all a couple of revs and we'll go from there. Just to give y'all a tease of just the truck ready to, the engine ready to go rather, for later on in the Bronco. So I'll get that going and then I'll go into detail with what else is going on with the Bronco build. Just that way you all know what's coming throughout the rest of the year. Thanks, guys. Okay guys, we're out here at the junkyard and I'm going to show you what the foundation of my build's going to be. What you have here is a 1993 F350 single cab, long bed, 1-ton frame, obviously, chassis. I parted the truck out. Wished I hadn't got rid of the wheels and tires and everything. But this truck originally had 7.3 IDI in it, and it popped a head gasket. The owner that Dad bought it from, he just sold Dad the truck for I think like $2,000, so nothing real big. And over time, with stuff I've done with Dad and everything, he just gave me the frame. But as you can see, like all the hub assemblies, brakes, everything like that need gone through, replaced. Leaf springs need changed out, body mounts need changed out, everything like that. But the company that I'm going with on this, no partnership or anything, is the diesel conversion specialist. They have kits you can build for the specific chassis that you're putting it into. So the kit that I'm getting is for a 93 1-ton, and it'll allow me to basically, if I send in the wiring harness from my Bronco, it will allow me to plug and play that 5.9 into this chassis and then into my Bronco, just like it was made from the factory like that. But with this frame, of course, being a 1-ton long bed, we're gonna have to section out the frame in some even spots to make up for the shorter frame, and get rid of the center tank and go with just the back tank like a Bronco has. They have a 33-gallon tank, so that'll be plenty enough for that 12 valve. But I plan on getting this frame blasted, powder coated and everything this year, and then starting to save up and go with new fuel lines, fuel system, suspension, everything like that. Just basically getting the truck's foundation up to 100% before we go to set the body down onto it. And then the body work can start to take hold for replacing panels, doing all that good lovely stuff. So I'll give an update on that part of the body of the Bronco when we get to that point in time. But as of right now, this year going forward, I'm just going to give you all a heads up. This is probably part 1 in a long series of videos that's going to be coming up of building the Bronco and making it a 1-ton. Only one that I've seen so far with a 6 BT in it and a 5-speed manual behind it. I have a ZF 5-speed that's going to go behind it. So it should be a pretty good build when it's all said and done. I know it's probably going to ride like a sled, but there's a few little tips and tricks I'm going to try and squeeze into this. That way it'll make it ride a little bit better. But we're going for more of steady, sturdy, reliable rather than comfort on this. So get the engine pulled out of this, get the tank removed, get it off to blasting. We'll be making some progress. So guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know this is probably long-winded and extravagant for what you wanted to see in the video, just the engine running, but just letting y'all know what's coming in the future. If you all support this, want to see it, see the project finalized, just like I do, to get to the very end, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you all next time. I appreciate it, and I want y'all to say it with me, please. 1-ton Cummins Bronco. I can't think of anything better than that. See y'all.